Let's do this. Alright, this is another episode of the Horror Movie Project Podcast. Here today.
Just a heads up to everybody, the title of our podcast may or may not be changing soon.
Yeah, that's right. Here with me today is
Dan from ZRjectFilmz.
Yeah, and we are just doing a Xmas special. This is this coming weekend, so this will be out before Christmas comes out. But yeah, it better be. If it's not, then just unsubscribe and stop listening to us.
At least on the iTunes and all that kind of side of it. I'll try to get up on my channel before then too.
But yeah, we're just doing Christmas Evil. What was the one?
Jack Frost.
Yeah, Jack Frost, and then Horror Christmas Story, right?
Christmas Horror Story.
Yeah.
Or as Walmart calls it, a holiday horror story.
Really? I didn't know they had a different name.
Well, that was the cover they put on it to, they can't put Christmas on it, I guess.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's pretty lame. I noticed that too, like, they're trying to sensitize that a lot now with, like, Christmas.
Yeah, you can't even have nativity scenes out in your yard or none of that, yeah.
Well, I did get a cup from Dunkin' Donuts where it had, like, it said Joy in it, and it had, like, a bunch of Christmas stuff on it, but it didn't say Christmas on it, so even the coffees won't even say it. Bullshit.
Yeah. When I let take care of the drivers and stuff at work, picking up trailers and things, I tell them have a good holiday. I can't say Christmas, so it's pretty lame.
Yeah. Oh well, you guys know how that is. So, yeah, for releases, I feel like we're just gonna briefly jump on these real quick. The only one I care to see real bad is, well, actually two. I want to see Leatherface, which is going to be this Tuesday, I believe, which would be the
19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my only for sure pickup.
Because from what you were telling me, people that did see it, they said that it was like, kind of like The Devil's Rejects, which kind of makes me want to watch it. Like a Rob Zombie, Leatherface type film.
Right. I mean, they say if you're a true fan of the franchise to go ahead and check it out, but they say it's kind of boring. But we'll see. Everybody's got their own opinion.
Yeah, I don't want to count it out yet, just because it kind of has a cool concept. And I saw the trailer too, so I'm kind of...
I mean, hopefully that means this one actually has a good story to it, unlike, a couple that have been released here recently.
Yeah, and it's always part 2 over again on Texas Chainsaw. It's like redoing that one a million times.
Yeah, like Texas Chainsaw 3D or whatever had like no story, but it has some good kills. So hopefully this has at least makes up for it in the story.
Yeah, for the prequel anyhow. And then they also had the guy from Jackals that we just watched. They had the guy from Blade.
Steven Dorff.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the sheriff, I believe, or something. Or from what I can tell, he's in it though. I know that.
Huh.
Yeah, he's in it. Like, he's one of the main cast guys that pop up, which I think he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
I'm liking that
he's
he's
going to the straight-to-video type horror outlet now.
I like that he's coming back, because, yeah, the only thing we saw him in was Blade, and then you didn't really see him much, and now he, like, Jackals in this one, so it's kind of cool seeing him again.
Hopefully he's in this one a little bit longer.
Yeah, then Jackals, yeah, he was barely in that. I mean, he was cool, but when he was in it, and then just went to shit pretty much after, with Jackals.
Right.
Fuck that movie. Alright.
So anyway, we got that coming out, and another one we got coming out is American Gothic, Scream Factory release.
Yep. And I think that we got Jeepers Creepers 3 coming out too, right? The Blu-ray.
Yeah, but the last one to finish up the 19th is the Amicus Collection from Severn Films.
Oh, I got you.
Which looks like a 3-film set with like a bonus disc. I've never heard of any of the 3 movies, and I'm not a big fan of Severn, so I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the 19th releases as far as the horror stuff.
I gotcha.
Yeah, yours comes out on Jeepers Creepers 3 is the following Tuesday.
Well, I just wanted to see, comparing it to the one on TV, because I know they edited a lot of shit out for the TV crap, and I heard they were on, like, another channel they were on, that they had it on again, other than Sci-Fi. It was on USA something, I think, a channel. I don't know what channel that is, but it was another channel was playing it. But yeah, I want to see the unedited take on it, and then I'll make up my mind with it. But yeah.
I still haven't even watched the Sci-Fi one. I'll just wait till it comes out.
Yeah, that's probably the better way to do it, 'cause you'll see a lot more crazy shit. So.
Well, I don't know. Looking at the cover here on Blu-ray.com, it says theatrical edition or something.
Oh, really? Doesn't have unrated or anything like that?
So, that's interesting.
Yeah, at least it'll be VR, though.
We'll see if they do a uncut version or something.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I would say that one and Leatherface are the big releases that are... I mean, and it sucks that they didn't come out with these in October. I don't get why they do it December, because you're kind of like... Why aren't these movies, I don't know, like... I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. Kind of like, I mean, not horror related, but they're putting Bad Moms Christmas comes out on video and, you know, next month or some shit. Like, why would you not put a Christmas movie out in time for Christmas?
It makes no sense why they do this. Alright, well, also, if I was going to jump on any pickups, the only thing I've gotten is I got, and then you can name just one, too. I think that'll be quick. I don't know. I got the Robert the Doll collection. The first one, I remember it wasn't that good. Second one, it's like The Curse of Robert the Doll. I think there's actually a third one, too, but that one I'll give a shot. Hopefully it doesn't suck, but it probably will suck. Yeah. So, you said you got like a release?
Well, I was going to finish out releases for the 26th.
Ah, shit.
Finish in December.
I fucked it up.
You got the Flatliners remake comes out as well, which I've heard nothing but terrible things about, so I'll pass on that one. And you have Mayhem, starring Glenn from Walking Dead, and Steven Yeun, or whatever his name is, which I've heard is really, really awesome, so I'm definitely going to grab that. It's like an infected zombie action movie.
Alright.
So, yeah, a couple of releases I'll touch on real quick that I've watched recently. Mother Krampus, do not pick that one up. Do yourself a favor and just skip that one altogether. It is a complete piece of shit. A couple good kill scenes. Other than that, garbage. And Better Watch Out. Another Christmas time film that doesn't really have anything to do with Christmas. Just takes place around that time of the year. But really, really good movie. Highly recommend that one. Did a short review for both of those on Stardust, which is a newer app on your phones and stuff like that. So if you guys want to check those out, follow me on Stardust under ZRjectFilmz.
Yep. And I don't know, he also does giveaways too. I saw you did the Captain Spaulding one. Did you I saw that, was it a subscriber on your channel, that one then, or?
Oh yeah, you had to be a subscriber to me.
Oh, I gotcha. Nice.
And the only person that did a video happened to be the person that won.
Oh, so he got the 3 entries? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely check him out, because he does contests and stuff once in a while, and it has some good stuff on his YouTube and our podcast and iTunes and all that stuff, so.
Yep, I'll be doing another giveaway for Whorehound Weekend coming up in March for another autograph, so.
And I think they even have Silent Night, Deadly Night. That guy's going to be there, ain't he?
No, that was the one, I think, that just happened.
Oh.
Around the same time that we went to Days.
Oh, I see. You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, we missed that one. That was a good convention. That was Whorehound and I forget where that one was. It wasn't Cincinnati or anything. It was some random one. I don't know. Kind of just popped up out of nowhere.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, that's it for cover releases for the rest of the year and a couple pickups we got.
Yep.
I believe we're going to start this with our least favorite to our most favorite.
Yep.
So we want to start it out with Christmas Evil from 1980.
Yeah, let's do Christmas Evil since least favorite film. So, this one, it was a pain in the ass for me to even find it. Like, I found it on Roku. I think I found it on, like, one of those, like, apps, where you gotta watch the commercials. So I even had to watch the commercials on this bitch, which pissed me off even more.
It'd be cool if you could watch commercials from 1980, though. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of like they repeat the same commercial like 4 times in a row each time they do them. So it's kind of annoying.
I watched the Vinegar Syndrome release of it.
Oh, gotcha. That's the one with like the green Santa Claus kind of face on it, or
yeah, it was a 4K restoration of it and all that good stuff. But
did it help out, or?
I don't know. I've never seen. These were all first-time watches for me.
Oh,
so,
I see.
Originally called "You Better Watch Out" as well.
Oh, I gotcha. I didn't even know that. Well, this movie, I don't know. It's pretty much the gist of it is I would just kind of skim through these. We're not gonna like spend forever talking about them, but especially this piece of crap. It's not horrible, but it's not like there's some cool shit in it, but it's long and kind of drawn out is the problem. But
nothing happens till damn near an hour in.
Yeah, you gotta wait a while. You gotta watch his boring job and shit. But yeah, he's like, do you think he's like a manager at his factory job or whatever?
I mean, he's up from the floor, so he's
supervisor probably. Yeah.
Position.
Yeah, he's got like his own desk and shit. But yeah, he gets traumatized as a kid with Santa Claus, and so he's like, doesn't he walk in on his mom and dad doing shit, dressed up like Santa?
Yeah, his dad's all groping on his mom and stuff, dressed as Santa. Yeah.
And he's got Santa Claus crap in his house, like it's all over. He's very excited. And I think the beginning, it starts out like in Thanksgiving parade, doesn't it? Because he's watching that, and then goes to his brother, his younger brother, just disappointed in him, and just is fucking just, I don't know. I think he wanted an older brother to look up to his whole life, and he's just not really, because it's like all about his emotional, like the character that plays the killer Santa Claus, he's just super sensitive about a lot of shit. He lives alone. He doesn't have any kids like his brother does, or a wife or anything, and he just...
Yeah, it fast forwards, from when he's a child to an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really creepy how he's watching, like, the neighborhood kids, though, man. Like, he's some kind of pedophile.
Yeah, I know, it is.
You gotta do that shit nowadays in a movie,
Yeah, he's, like, watching them and writing down if they're bad or good, and he's got books for him and everything, like every kid. It's pretty ridiculous, and he's got, like, a couple books of it, so he's been doing this for a while. But that's what he does on his off time when he's not at work. And then, the thing that sets him off, though, he goes nuts because he's got to take a shift for some guy that just goes to the bar claiming he's going to go on, like, a Christmas trip or something.
Right, and he walks by the bar, and he's bragging about how he got him to cover his shift and everything.
Yep. And then shit hits the fan, and after that, he just, like, the next day, I think doesn't he start making that Santa Claus suit, kind of?
It kind of, like, fast forwards to, like, Christmas Eve.
Oh, he starts making it? Yeah. Because his brother calls him and wants him to come over, and he's like, I'm under the weather today. Like, he's
sitting there watching that parade and stuff, waiting on Santa Claus to come out and everything, like he's a freaking kid again.
Yep. So, yeah, he does the suit and all that, and it's just like, it's pretty damn boring. This shit's not very entertaining to watch, I would say.
No, not really.
It's kind of like, I remembered it being better when I watched it last year, and I watched this one with that last podcast we did, and like before, and I was expecting it to be way cooler because the cover looked kind of cool, and I don't know, I was expecting this killer Santa Claus, and yeah, the first thing he does do is he dresses up like Santa. He doesn't do anything really a whole lot during Christmas Eve, and he gets that suit made, and just kind of going through it. Fuck all the other shit. It's like, who cares at this point with the boring crap?
Yeah, he starts out, being good about it, and giving all the kids presents and doing all that kind of shit. Then, who was it? The guy that came in for the company, right?
Yeah.
To kind of, like, get things growing bigger or something. I don't know. They're all at that mass at the church. That's when it really starts to pick up.
Yep. Yeah, it's a kickoff, like, yeah, he gives, like, all the factory toys to those kids, the orphanage, and then he goes right to that mass at that church, and then, like, those people, like, are kind of they come down and see him because he's Santa Claus. They're kind of like, you know, giving him some smart-ass comments, and then he just couldn't, at that point, he's just too far gone where, doesn't he just, like, fucking stab the guy right away? Like, in his face?
Yeah, with that little sword on the soldier that he made.
Yeah, he just stabs him in the eye, I think. Like, Yep. And then, is it more than one, or is it, I think he kills, like, 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, he takes 3 of them out right there.
Yeah.
Takes one out with, like, a little axe thing that he made. Yeah, and it's over the top, you know, stuff. It's obviously fake blood. I mean, like, it has that orange tint to it and everything.
And then after that, he kind of just runs off in his little sled van, white van. Like a sled.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job painting that van, though.
Yeah, they did. And then he just kind of runs around. But what's weird, though, is he does that, and then doesn't he go to, like, some random party going on, and then he goes...
Well, yeah, he's kind of drug in there as he's looking through the window, just trying to enjoy it from the outside, and they have him come into the, I don't remember what the thing was called, but you got a bunch of people in there and some kids and stuff. They kind of force him in.
Yep. And then he, like, warns the kids to not be naughty, or he's going to give him something bad in their stockings or whatever. And then he leaves that place after he parties for those people for a while, and then I think he sees it on the news, or you see, like, a news clipping of the people that got killed at the mass. I think his brother's, like, maybe that's what it was. His brother was watching it, because he starts to pick up.
And he instantly knows it's him, you know?
Yeah, that's why he's calling him, like, crazy, and, like, you know... And then, I don't know if he goes back to the factory, but he, like, kind of just runs around the whole town, and then...
And then he goes to Frank's house, the guy he covered the shift for.
Yeah, oh, that was good. Yeah, that was actually one of the coolest scenes in the whole movie. He goes back to Frank's house. He, you know, sits there and talks, like, he's all nice to the kids, and then he goes up to him when he's sleeping and just fucking kills him. He stabs him with a Christmas tree ornament after he puts a pillow over his face.
Well, yeah, he's trying to suffocate him with the bag of toys. And that's not working too well, and the wife starts to wake up, so he just takes him out with the star.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Was that your favorite death in the whole movie? That was probably...
I don't know, I like the sword through the eye.
Yeah, that was cool too, but, like, it was just great because he's so pissed at this guy for fucking him over on the ship that he goes to his house and just goes nuts. And then the wife notices, and then he, like, runs out after he kills him, and then, the kids are all, like, you know, excited that he's there, and then the wife screams, he's like, I'm out. You think he's going to give him, like, a present or something, but he just runs, and then...
Well, he gives the kids presents when he gets there. They see him putting the presents under the tree.
Oh, yeah, you're right, and then he just kind of loves being around the kids, and then...
And this, of course, is after he gets stuck trying to go down the chimney first.
Yeah, you're right about that, I forgot that.
That was pretty funny, trying to get his fat ass down there.
The thing is, he's actually a skinny guy. It's just that he puts all that fat crap on him to... Like, I think he just uses, like, stuffing out of an animal or something, like a stuffed animal. He makes a suit, like, just some of the filler crap.
Yeah. And then, yeah, after that, he's driving around, and he's... What was it? He is talking to those kids in that town, or whatever, in that neighborhood.
Yeah, and they reported on the news already how he looks, like with the darker...
Yeah, with the fur.
Yeah, the fur on the cuffs, and, like, they go to the police station, too, where they're trying to figure out which Santa Claus it is, and they have, like, 1 billion of them on lineups, you know. And, like, they gotta say Merry Christmas, because I think he said that when he stabbed those guys at the church. Like, right out. He said something like that. And they're trying to, like, match the words exactly and shit for the victims that saw it, or whatnot. But, yeah, when he's doing that, he's just riding around, and the parents, I think, pick up in that town because they somehow heard the stuff on the media telling them to, you know, watch out for this certain kind of Santa Claus. And they pull out a knife, and then the kids defend him, because it's her dad, the one little girl, right? And she's like, you're not gonna hurt him, and she, like, takes the knife and gives it to him. Gives it to Santa.
Yeah.
And then doesn't he stab the dad with it, like, when he runs up? But I don't know if he does it purposely. I think it's, like, an accident or something.
No, I don't think he stabs him. I think he just runs off.
Oh, he pushes him or something. Yeah, there's something that happens there. I don't know.
Yeah, he's just trying to get away at that point.
Okay. And then they start doing their torches looking for him. Yeah, the whole town wants to, like, just hang his ass or something. And they kind of just run around with their torches. It's like, kind of reminds you of, like, some medieval time crap or something.
Right. Yeah, definitely a scene from an older movie than what that was.
Yeah, and that's when he goes to his brother's house. You know, his brother picks up right away. He tells his wife and his kids to run upstairs, and he's going to talk to him. And, you know, his brother, he chokes him, and you think, like, he's almost dead at that point, and then he puts him back in his little Santa sleigh car, and then out of nowhere, he just punches him in the face and takes off.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I thought his brother killed him, you know.
I did too. I thought he just drove his brother nuts, you know, because he's bugging the shit out of him when he's got kids and shit with Christmas, and, you know, he's got to deal with.
His brother didn't even give a shit. He's just like, I'm going to drag his body out here.
I know. Yeah, he drives away, and keeps on driving. He's got, like, that lynch mod, and I think his brother's actually chasing after him while he's driving, which he's not going to catch him, but he's, like, running kind of at the car, which is, I thought maybe he was going to run him over or something, but nothing happened with that. And then, like, the lynch mob goes after him, and then he, like, somehow flies off a bridge or something, and he flies away to the moon.
Yeah, you know, his lead sled turns into a real sled somehow, and just
takes off.
Yeah, the ending was kind of just what the fuck, you know, but yeah, didn't really care for the ending there.
The ending, I was thinking that he probably died, he fell off a bridge and went into some water, and that was him, like, you know, in his mind or something. I don't know. That's my guess, because it makes no sense.
I mean, they never made a sequel, so I'm guessing he died.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the gist of that movie. Just some guy going through life, you know.
Can't take it. He snaps one day, and then
kind of a movie about bullying, I guess. You know, everybody's always giving him shit, and, you know, one day he just snaps and he can't take no more.
I did like that he glued the beard on his face, though. That was some dedication. After he did that, there was no turning back.
I don't know. I thought it was spirit glue.
Was it? I thought he actually, like, put, like, some kind of actual...
Maybe.
Yeah, he put, like, actual glue on there, putting the fucking beard, I think, on there, which was hilarious.
They did a good job making that suit, though.
Yeah, they did. That looked a lot better than Silent Night, Deadly Night, or the other, just because it had the fur, I feel like, and the way it was made, it looked, and especially with his beard, it looked really good.
Yep.
So.
But overall, what's your rating on this one?
I would probably give it, I don't know, 4.5. I think it doesn't even hit a 5. Like, I want it to hit a 5, but it's too drawn out. Like, it's a good part towards the end. If you want to watch this, just skip through all the bullshit and then watch all the
about
crazy.
45 minutes in, just take it from there.
Yeah, then watch all the good shit where he starts doing stuff, but it's not even that good when he does do the crazy shit. It's more entertaining.
Yeah, I'm right about with you. I'm at a 5 out of 10 just because we don't have a lot of... I mean, you got more now here recently, Christmas horror type films, but up until really like this year, there hasn't been too many.
Yeah, you're just kind of screwed with Christmas films. It wasn't, and they still today, I mean...
Yeah, Christmas and Valentine's Day, you don't really have a lot of...
Yeah. It's kind of just like, what the fuck?
So yeah, I mean, it gets a 5 out of 10 for me, just for them trying to do something. I mean, I feel it'd be better if it was made nowadays. You know, they try to kind of delve into the human psyche and stuff like that, you know, but just didn't execute it very well.
No. Yeah,
I mean, somebody on Facebook today compared it to, like, Taxi Driver of Christmas movies, but...
What?
No. Taxi Driver is way better.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones that fell short. I mean, there's just, like you said, it's cool that we have a lot now. They're starting to come out with them, but they're, like, low budget or medium budget, but the problem is like, you're kind of disappointed with a couple of them, so Like you said, when you bought Mother of Krampus, you're just like, this, like,
Right.
you want to take chances on them. You do. You
And
want,
then there was another one, too, that was like, And All Through the House or something. I saw at Walmart that just came out.
oh, yeah.
But, I mean, it was so low budget, like, the sleeve to the case was, like, way shorter than the case. Like, they can't even get that right.
Wow.
I was like, I don't know. I mean, if you can't even make the product look, appealing, then... But, yeah, ever since the first, legit Krampus came out, there's been tons of spin-offs of that and everything else, and it kind of got rejuvenated from there, but...
I watched, there's another one called Krampus Reckoning. I watched that. That was, I don't know, it's probably better than this movie, but still pretty bad.
Yeah. Like I say, I think Krampus the Christmas Devil is supposed to be one that's actually decent, and then you got Krampus 2, it just goes on and on.
Yep.
But, yeah.
So, let's do,
Let's do Jack Frost.
yeah, let's get that one out of the way here. Yeah, I actually watched this one today. It was on Amazon Prime for me, so I got lucky it was on there, because I was like, oh shit, I might have to go rent this real quick.
Yeah, this was another Vinegar Syndrome release watch for me.
How was it on there? 'Cause you had that's almost...
It looked great, man. It was a really good transfer.
Yeah, this one, like, I remember it actually being better than when I watched it today. Like, maybe I was just in the wrong mood or something, but...
Well, I think a lot of the jokes are outdated now.
Yeah.
Is a big part of it.
Well, one of the things that bugged the shit out of me, and this is probably the thing that bugs the shit out of me about this whole film, is the guy that does all that crazy shit, like the guy that is Jack Frost, he's played by a different guy, and then they replay him like a flashback scene. He's a different actor. You notice that too?
No, he's not.
He's not? That's somebody else?
No.
Oh.
That's him doing the voice, and that's him in person.
Oh. I thought it was...
Yeah,
I thought it was a
the
different...
features on the Vinegar Syndrome release, so...
Oh, I thought it was like a different actor. I was like, what the fuck? Must have been a different, like, style. They had his hair and shit. I don't know. Looked kind of
I
different.
mean, that scene might have been, but I don't think it was. I know the scene where he's in the back of the transport and everything is him. The same guy that does the voice. But
Yeah.
he did different.
And then they're going to execute him, because I'm guessing, didn't he, like, murder a bunch of people or something?
Right. Yeah, and then he's telling the cop when he gets caught, that he's going to find a way to come back and kill everybody in the fucking town.
Yep. So,
yeah, while he's getting transported, they get in an accident, which is really cheesily shot, how that was put together, and gets sprayed by some kind of chemical shit. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, from the other truck or something, just sprays the shit out of it. That was hilarious, though, with his acting. He was like...
Genetic research thing, I think.
Like, he says this is gonna hurt a lot or something, and the way he says it, it's just so fucking ridiculous. Like, it just comes out and sprays him, and, like, the way he says that, it's just ridiculous. Like, it's like, oh, man, or something. I don't remember. He says, like, a line, and it just is like, wow.
Yeah, I think it's something like you just said, like, this is gonna hurt.
Yep.
It was kind of interesting watching the features, how they shot that scene. He was actually laying down and getting the stuff sprayed on him, and then they had him go upright in the movie.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. And then after that, the town, it's kind of a bunch of boring crap for a while. And then, because he turns into the snowman, somehow the snow gets diffused with his blood particles or whatever, with that liquid that sprayed him. It must have been some kind of bonding agent that, like, turned him into that creature. Because you have that scientist later on, when he's checking out the footprints with the water, he stuck that thing in there and he's like, he came in from the back. Because they knew what it was. It was like...
Yeah, he was saying footprints are as accurate as fingerprints now. And
yeah. And it was just water on the floor with some kind of device he stuck in it. But...
So, yeah, I mean, like you were saying, it takes a little bit to get up to him coming back or whatever. You just have to deal with a small town doing like a was it snowman competition.
I don't think there's actually any snow. It's like fake snow, isn't it?
Oh, did you want some insight on that too from the special features?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, they went up to Big Bear to shoot this movie, and it was like the only year that they didn't have snow in. I think it was like November, and it was like 70 degrees, which was like a really rare thing. And so they didn't have any snow at all. They had to use snow blankets and things like that, cotton swabs and all that kind of stuff for background snow. And it was like real scarce. Anytime anyone threw any snow or anything, they had to go get it. Like,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, they admit that they didn't have the resources they were expecting to shoot this film. So
I didn't know any of that, but the first death scene, I would say, with the snowman is he kills that kid on that sled, right? And that's when it all kind of starts.
Yeah, there's a bunch of kids kind of bullying.
Yeah, pushes the one kid.
The main kid, the cop's son. And he kind of, Jack kind of trips him up and slices his head off with a sled. So.
Yep. And they just think it's nuts, killer snowman. The one cop's still kind of believing he's coming back because he told him he would. But it's just kind of like superstition, you know. At this point, people aren't really believing it. And then he comes back. Of course.
No, hold on, wait. I think we skipped. Yeah, they find the old guy dead first.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they find the old man. He's all kind of frozen over. And,
oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Cop calls the FBI on that, and you can kind of tell right then and there that the feds know something's up.
Well, yeah, because they have, like, you know, those scientist guys coming out and checking the water shit with that stuff, so I'm assuming the thing that sprayed him had to be some kind of, like, chemical weapon or something. I mean, it's got to be something where, I mean, 'cause why else would they give a shit if it wasn't, you know, something?
I think they say something along the lines of the little scientist guy was trying to prove that, you know, people had actual souls and it transferred your soul over to other things.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it was something weird, but it wasn't like government scientist people were in. He was like one of those guys, right? Or was he just a scientist checking it out? One of the two.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was kind of all like off the books type research.
Oh, gotcha.
Just like the other guy, he was asked, you know, if he's FBI or whatever. He's like, you know, something along those lines. Or
oh, yeah, it wouldn't go into detail. Yeah.
Right. He was kind of more like a mercenary type person.
And yeah.
So anyway, yeah. After the cops kid, you know, that incident happens with those people. You know, the town's not too happy about it and everything, and they all want answers and shit. And what happens after that?
He goes in there and kills, what's it called? That one guy,
yeah, the kid's dad that died. Yeah.
And then he kills the mom right after.
Down there.
Yeah, he shoves an axe down. Yeah, that's crazy. He shoves.
Yeah, you think he's going to cut his head off or something with the axe, and he just shoves the handle down there. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it was funny, but it doesn't make sense at all. Yeah. And then he goes inside and he unplugs a Christmas tree or something. And he strangles her with, like, the Christmas tree lights around himself, and then shoves that star from the Christmas tree into her, and he's shoving her face into all those ornaments, so she's getting all cut up in her face.
Yeah, I like that kill a lot, though.
He even shoved an ornament in her mouth, then he made her close down. I think so. He did something weird like that. Yeah, it was something weird. I mean, I don't... Like, and after that...
Just to touch on the topic, you did have Shannon Elizabeth in here, which I thought the whole time we were going to see some good stuff from her, but...
Yeah, I was pissed off about that, dude. That was some bullshit.
This was a couple years before American Pie, when she had that scene in there, but, yeah, she was definitely still pretty hot in this.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised she was in there, because I recognized her, too, and then... Yeah, you were thinking that because they ripped all their clothes off, and then they go in the sheriff's house. Or, well, not the sheriff, but a cop's house, which makes no damn sense, but that's probably the stupidest place you could do that at.
I think it's one of them, risk of getting caught things, kind of turns them on more. Yeah, that scene was pretty funny, too. They're taking off, 20 layers of clothing,
Yeah, and then, it's like you said, 70 degrees out or whatever. That fucking suck.
Yeah, I know. After I watched that feature, I'm like, man, these people must have been miserable and all these, big jackets and stuff they had to wear and everything and trying to pretend that it's freezing cold out.
Yeah, I'd be pissed. That was but they get
paid. I think some stuff happens before that, right? Yeah, they find out that, Jack can unfreeze himself and freeze himself at will. That's how he's getting into places, turning into liquid and everything.
Yeah, something crazy like that.
But that is the next kill is what we were kind of talking about there with them two kids. Jack kills the boyfriend with an icicle that comes out of his hand.
Yeah. Yep, he shoots them out of his hand. Yeah, his hand, and then he shoots one at his head from his hand, and then you're all excited because you think he's going to go up there and get that girl, but she gets in the bathtub, and then a bunch of snow on her, and then he takes his, nose off and, has sex with her, I guess, with the nose. I don't know. Hard to say, really.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I don't know about that, but he kind of came, infused with her.
Something.
As he became solid form again.
Yeah. Yep, and yeah, she dies, and then after that, it's I'm trying to think who he kills after that, because
well, after that, they're trying to force him into the furnace area.
Oh, you're right.
So he goes into that police station, turns into his other forms and stuff to get in, and what was it? Shit, man, I can't remember.
I know it's weird. I just
can't
watched
remember. I think they did the furnace thing first, and that worked a little bit, or they were trying to get him down there, but they ended up blowing up the police station instead with all the aerosol cans and everything.
Yeah.
And after that is when he takes out the two guys, the FBI guy and the scientist.
You're right. And then, yeah, he kills quite a few of them in there, and then, I don't know, the cops, like you said, they do something with the antifreeze that really just gets them at the end there. But, I don't know, do you want to just kind of sum it up then, or?
Yeah, they find out from some stuff that the main cop of the town, his kid made him to take to work or whatever, some kind of oatmeal marshmallow shit that he made, and ends up throwing it at Jack and melts his face, and he finds out that his kid put antifreeze in it because he didn't want it to freeze on him. So his kid didn't know what he was doing, but turns out it was a good thing, and tells that store owner to be back in 5 minutes, which how he got the bed of that truck full of antifreeze in 5 minutes is beyond me.
Yeah.
And they get Jack to fall into the bed of antifreeze.
Yep, and then they bury his ass, and that's pretty much the end.
And then you see some shit move around at the very end, knowing there's going to be a sequel.
Have you seen the sequel, or no?
No, I have not. This is my first time watching this one, so...
Oh, the sequel is not any good at all, compared to this one. But
yeah, I think he took the one cop out with like his ice teeth or whatever, right?
yeah,
The Fed.
yeah. It's you mean the second one or just?
No, in this one, I was trying to think of how he killed the Fed and the scientist guy. I think the Fed
Yeah,
killed
some with
the
his
Fed.
teeth. You're right.
Yeah. And then the scientist was, shit, I don't remember how he killed the scientist.
Well, oh
The
well.
scientist didn't want him to die or anything. He was all proud of his, achievement there.
Yep. The thing he created, pretty much. From
I know what it was. He went inside the scientist's body and he walks out all, like, weird.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then he comes out of his mouth and shit and comes back.
Alright, well,
But yeah,
let's go
I
to...
did like the ending though. I mean, the ending had some good fight between him and the cop in the bed of the truck there and everything.
What would you give a rating on this then?
I got this one at a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, it's not... I mean, it's one of the better Christmas horror films, I feel like. I'd give it a 6. I do remember it, like, if I would have rated it last year, it would have been around where you are. I don't know what it was. It was probably just the mood I was in, but I don't know. It's weird when you watch some of these movies again. You think, like, they're a lot better, but I don't know. It's still a good movie. Like I
say, I think a lot of the jokes fell flat because it's a lot of stuff from, like, the 90s that they were hitting on, and now it's just, every year it's going to get a little worse in that aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always got some kind of smart-ass remark to say and everything.
And
it just doesn't stay with the times,
Yeah, it's one that you should pick up if you want slasher horrors, because it's one of the better ones. But if you want to go to what's it called, the Horror Christmas Story.
A Christmas Horror Story.
Yep, that one. Yep.
So, anyway, just wanted to more think about Jack Frost. I think if they would have shot it and had all of their snow and everything they were hoping for, it would have been probably way better.
Yeah, it would have been.
You just kind of lost that element a lot.
Yep.
So yeah, you got only familiar name in here would be William Shatner as the radio DJ.
Dangerous Dan or something? Or...
Dangerous Dan, yep. He took my name. No. This came out in 2015.
Netflix is when I first watched it, and it's still on there now, so if you guys want to watch it, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to watch it on there, then I was like, I might as well watch the Blu-ray and at least watch the features and stuff, but...
It's like an anthology horror Christmas type thing. You have 3 different story plots going at once. Because you have the one in the beginning of the movie. It's the one guy going to the food bank Christmas Eve, I think, from the radio station. So you have Shatner, it gets tied in through that, but with him, Dangerous Dan, talking, and then it goes right to the murders in that, like, school or something, and then you have the cop that was, like, the lead investigator. There's that one family, right, that took the Christmas tree. They stole their Christmas tree from that guy's land, which is in the beginning too, and then you have the kids investigating the murders trying to do their own, like, paranormal ghost video shit. And then you have the one family that tries to get money from their aunt or something, right? They're trying to, like, get her to invest in his stupid, like, scam or whatever he's got going. It's like all 3 things going on right in the beginning. They bounce off of each other, yeah.
And then we get into the Santa part.
Yep. The Santa stuff's just kind of randomly in there, but you see at the end how it gets tied in. But yeah, Krampus gets introduced through the story with the trying to get the aunt's money. They kick him out after they break that kid breaks the statue. I'm just kind of summing this up so we don't have to talk about it forever, even though it's one of the...
Yeah, I was going to say, if you just want to do each story on its own and not go back and forth like the movie did.
Okay. Yeah. Alright, let's do the... What one do you want to do first then? The Krampus one?
Might as well just do the one you were just talking about.
Alright, yeah, the Krampus one, they get kicked out of that house after the little kid breaks the statue, because the the old woman doesn't want to have, Krampus run at her because it's that anger and that, like, I don't know what he was, if he was a caregiver or if he was, like, with the aunt or who that, I'm guessing.
I'm not sure either. Yeah, I think he was, like, a caretaker. But.
Yeah, that's what my guess is. And then, he turns into that creature, chases after him in the car, they lose control, get stuck, so they have to run around the woods at night. And the kid's the first one to get taken away, that messed up the statue with the chains.
Yeah, which we don't ever even know what happened to him.
Yeah, he just vanished. It doesn't show.
Alright.
Then the next one that gets taken out, they go into an old church. The dad gets taken out of the window.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that happened was the dad got hit or whatever.
Yeah, he's bleeding pretty bad, and he tells him how it's all a scam before he gets taken away, his thing he's doing.
Yeah, that he's been out of work forever and trying to give his wife nice things.
And the daughter and the mother run into, like, the confession booth, and Krampus's, like, tongue comes down there and licks them and shit, and then they get out, they stab the tongue or whatever, and then they see Krampus, and then there's, like, the mom gets killed because she tells her to run, right?
Yeah.
And she runs off, and she eventually goes back to the aunt's house, and the aunt kind of calms her down. Or wait, no, she doesn't even get in there. She's killing Krampus outside before that happens. Like, she, like, throws a bunch of gasoline on him or something, hits him with, like, what the hell was that thing? I don't know.
Yeah, she, like, breaks off one of his horns or whatever. Right.
I think that's at the end of the movie, isn't it? Or I don't know what she did to him. But, yeah, she kills him with a bunch of fire and stuff.
Yeah, and he turns into that caretaker guy.
Yep. And then she goes in, and the aunt explains to her that the spirit of Krampus goes into people that are that angry, so it just comes back to whoever spirit it can possess, and then she becomes the Krampus, and most likely kills the aunt there.
Yep, which that was pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
The way she treated people.
Yep, it was. And then, next story would be the cop, right, and his family.
Well, I mean, we can go back to the first story that started it was the kids breaking into the school to do their thing from the murders that happened a year before.
Alright, we can do that one then.
So, yeah, they're checking out the school, doing their, like you said, their paranormal activity type thing for, I don't know if they had a YouTube channel or what was going on with that, but anyway. So they go and investigate the basement area of it where the murders took place, and you see some kind of freaky shit here and there of some ghostly appearances and everything, and they get stuck down there, like the door won't open where they came in at, none of the keys are working, and they're just kind of trapped down there.
Yeah.
And then eventually, the girl of the group gets, I guess she's like possessed from the spirit of a girl from back in the old days, right?
And she was, like, pregnant or something, yeah, and she had that kid with the nuns, like, the nuns, like, took out of her. Yeah. Some
girl that was, like, 15 back in, like, I forget what year it was.
Yeah.
But, she gets possessed by her spirit, and, ends up taking one kid out, just killing him.
Shoving, like, a
sex with her or whatever.
crucifix goes through his mouth or something, right? Like, he's dead like that. She, like, seduces him or something, then kills him. Like, you don't ever see what happens. You just see her bring that other guy in there. And she's kind of, like, going back and forth from being possessed into normal. And then he gets flung against the wall. And it's pretty much dies just like those other kids died, or whoever was there before.
Yeah, she has sex with the other kid, and like you said, turns back to her normal self, and she's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yep.
And it turns out she did that to carry the other girl's baby or something, the dead girl.
Yeah, and then she's only free after she does that. Like, after the one kid gets his neck snapped against the wall from that ghost thing.
Yeah.
She can
This
leave
is probably the least favorite of the stories. movies. I didn't really care for this one too much.
Yeah, it wasn't as good.
I think it could have been a good movie on its own, like if they would have, made it its own thing and did a lot more backstory and everything to it.
Pretty much with this one, it's just to tie in that cop with the Christmas tree, how he's looking at the case, because he was in that video that somehow they were able to get. And
that was the only time I jumped at all in this whole movie was when the chick falls down from the pipe.
Oh, really?
I just wasn't expecting that right at the beginning. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, and well, okay, go into the next story with the changeling. This one was one of the better ones. With the kid, they steal that Christmas tree. The kid vanishes. They bring home like a changeling, then you know it's not the kid because he's acting completely different. First,
well, I mean, you don't know that. You just know something's off with him.
Yeah.
Something's not right.
Well, then he eats like all that food like crazy, and then the thing that sets the dad off is he pretty much sees that he opens all the Christmas presents, and he's getting into fights with the girl that I don't know if it's his kid necessarily or what's going on, but he's with the woman that has him. That's kind of how I interpret it. I don't know if he is the actual dad or not. Did you understand that at all? Or
I think it's his dad.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I just think
they were having
previous,
problems.
After that incident happened from a year ago, he's
been fucked up.
Yeah, so I think he's just now kind of maybe coming back home or something. Maybe.
Something. Yeah, something weird with that. I don't know. Hard to tell. Who knows? But yeah, he takes his belt off and wants to beat his ass after he opens all the presents up, and then she stops him, and then he apologizes, has a couple more drinks. He's looking at the case, and that changeling come up there and crawling on the damn ceiling, kills his ass. I would have loved to see that happen, but they cut out, and then you see her walk out, and you see him all tied up. I think he's actually got the belt around his neck.
Yeah, the belt's over there somewhere.
Yeah. And he's just sitting there holding the hand that's severed off of him, playing with it in blood. The kid. Let's go for a ride, because she got that call from that guy. Didn't believe him at first. Looked up the changeling thing, and that's when the changeling killed the dad guy. And I don't know.
Yeah, she finally gets him back to those wood areas.
And you start to see a lot of them out there. Yeah.
She sees all the eyes of the other ones as soon as she gets there. And the guy's like, you're safe as long as I'm here. They listen to me. And she just kind of freaks out.
And shoots him.
A little bit. Yeah. Takes that guy out.
Which
I
was
think
stupid.
at that point she became their mom or whatever, took his place. Because they just give the boy back after that with no
hesitation.
argument.
Yeah. That was weird. Yeah, then she just runs off, so makes you wonder if they somehow were just free at that point or what happened, but that was stupid.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think they have to have a master,
someone to follow.
At all times. Yeah, someone normal to help them get stuff from the outside, world and everything. Possibly. I don't know. I'm not big into the changeling type stuff, so I don't really know.
And then we go to the main, Christmas thing with Krampus and Santa Claus. Santa Claus, he's getting all ready to do another year of presents, and the elves start to turn into, these undead elves. And he's knocking them off one by one. He takes Mrs. Claus, throws her in, her own area. Eventually she gets turned, because, this is all throughout the whole thing that's being played, but bits and pieces, but if you want the overall,
Right.
thing.
And during all of these stories, too, you have Dangerous Dan talking about something going on at a mall.
Yep.
And for everybody to stay calm and all this, and you have no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Yep. And he even says, it's at the food bank that they had going on for the channel, that news, or it'd be AM radio or whatever where he's talking, but they have that food thing with the one guy, so he's talking about how the newsman guy is out there and he'll be fine. And then mentions that he has a master's degree or something, and then they go back to the story with Santa Claus. Yeah, he kills all those, like, elves. He eventually tries to get out of that, like, you know, area and go to the sled area, which eventually happens. Because he's just wrecking these elves like no tomorrow. It doesn't even matter really what they do to him because he's too powerful for them to really do much. And then Mrs. Claus gets turned, he kills her, and then,
I mean, right when this all started, though, he makes the comment, like, there can only be one person behind this, or whatever. Like, he knows right off the bat what's going on.
And then he's got that huge scar on his face from Mrs. Claus, I think. And then he's in the thing, he actually fights Krampus in the sleigh area where he's getting his reindeer in his sleigh already. And Krampus barges in. And I feel like that's when he cuts off the horn, but he's throwing those chains at him, and they're both, like, you know, taking hits at each other.
Yeah, that was a pretty badass Santa Claus.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's all pissed off. I loved it, too. He's really good.
Yeah, kind of like braids in his hair and stuff, and he was all, like, just
ready.
Kick-ass, yeah.
Yep. And then you had Krampus running there, and they're fighting. That was some cool shit. And then after, that's when he cuts off the horn, because he wakes up, because it's the news guy at the mall, and he, like, you know, bends that guy's horn because he's like a reindeer. And that's when you realize it was just the crazy shit at the mall. He was all in his mind.
Yeah, he's like, hey, it's Norman, or whatever his name is. I think that was his name, right?
Yeah, it was Norman. And then
he's like looking at Krampus like, what? And then he finally turns into...
He's like, what's wrong with you? And you see the cops barging in, and he's such an idiot. Well, I mean, either way, he's going to probably get executed for killing all those people.
Well, I mean, he was just fucked up. He couldn't control what he was saying.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just in his own world, and it goes and replays all the stuff that happened with the Santa Claus crap, but it shows you actual people working there and stuff that he's just taking out.
Right.
And he has that axe, and the cops barge in, and he pulls like the axe like he's gonna... Did he pull the axe towards the cops, or was he doing it towards the guy, and then they shot him?
No, he kept pulling it towards the guy, because his mind kept flashing back to the guy named Krampus.
Oh.
So he couldn't get it out of his head that it wasn't Krampus.
And cops shoot him, and then that is pretty much the end of it.
Yep. But this movie was a lot of fun, though. Definitely recommend this one.
I'm happy we picked this one over the other Krampus movie, because I feel like it's a better film.
If you... like I say, I think a lot of people have seen that one more than this one, too. And I've seen it, 4 or 5 times already. So
I
it was kind of like, man, I gotta watch it again. I mean, I don't mind it, but...
Gotcha.
Yeah, this one was pretty entertaining, though. It was never, boring. I mean, a little bit here and there with the kids in the school, but other than that, I didn't see any boring parts.
Yep, so...
And it was shot real well, too. Like, it was just a dark movie.
A dark, like, Christmas movie, yeah.
It had great sound to it. A lot of deep bass and everything throughout the movie that just gave it, like, a creepier vibe.
Yep.
And definitely had comedy to it, too. A lot of comedy with the elves,
Yeah.
So, yeah, highly recommend this one. I'd give it 8 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I give it an 8 out of 10 also. It's a damn good movie. Like, especially for something on Netflix, I was not expecting to get something like that.
Yeah, this was released by RLJ Entertainment, which they're really hit and miss on their releases, but this is definitely one of their better ones.
Yeah.
They're kind of like a Lionsgate company when Lionsgate started. But, yeah, I mean, if you guys don't have Netflix, I think this is, probably under $10 on Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, I'm sure you can find it at Walmart or something right now, or, even, maybe they'd have it at Family Video, you can just get it if you're really cheap.
Just remember, if you get it from Walmart, it's a holiday horror story.
Yep.
So, still the same movie, though. Yeah. So, I think that's about it for this episode.
Yeah, and you guys have a good, I'll just say Merry Christmas, yeah.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, whatever it is you celebrate.
Yep. And if people get mad about that, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, it's our podcast. I guess we could say
what we want.
What we feel we should say.
Yep.
But I'm not politically correct by any means, so.
Yep.
Yeah. Any thoughts on next episode?
I think we'll do another vote, because we did a vote on this one, on a couple different things, and those are the top movies that we picked other than the horror story one, holiday horror story, or whatever the hell it's called. Yeah, that was the one we picked, but we'll have like 2 that you guys pick, and then we'll pick a third one. So.
Yeah, Jack Frost, I think, came in first, followed by Christmas Evil.
Yep.
And then third was a bunch of people that said, who the fuck cares? So, yeah. But that's, the world we live in, social media, people are always going to have negativity, so, it's whatever.
Yep.
If you don't want to listen to it, don't listen to it, But we appreciate everybody that does, and...
Yeah, speaking of which, find us on iTunes, Stitcher, the 2 top ones, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, Spreaker, whatever the hell it's called, I don't know. I don't care. We never use it really too much. And then, yeah, that's pretty much and YouTube, of course, on both our channels, on Dan from ZRjectFilmz with the Z, and Dead Michael, Crazy Horror Collector. So, yeah. And we might eventually have our own, YouTube for it as well. We're still figuring stuff out. We might change our name or whatnot. We might branch out to other movies. We don't know yet. We're still debating it. So.
Yep. We've both just been busy like everybody else with the holiday season and everything. And, between Days of the Dead and Christmas, it's just been pretty hectic for both of us. So.
Yep. So.
All right. Yeah.
See you guys.
We'll see you guys on the next episode.
All right. Later.